What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. So here we are, end of season now, and we've got a live comment against Man 62 here today in the Rock Cup final, because yes, we are going to go on and hopefully win our first ever quad here in Gibraltar. So, being a quad, obviously you know what happened in the league. We won the league quite convincingly in the end. As you can see, all the other teams in the league now are sort of gelling together at what standard they are. Basically, Lincoln are still, by the looks of it, a little bit above the rest. I think they had a bad year this year, but I'd still say they're a little bit above the rest. But then, really, every team's gelled into it. As you can see, Man 62, the team that originally challenged us for the title the first year we were in this division, have just been relegated this season. So it shows that clubs are now changing. There will be, I think, a few new faces in this division. Gibraltar Scorpions, Lions, they look like two solid teams. I wouldn't pull it past them to be in this division now from this point on. Really interesting to see how that develops. Throughout the whole season, we only lost one game and drew one game. The loss, of course, came to Gibraltar Scorpions. The draw came to Lincoln. But one of the key things to me is our goal difference. We had a 30 goal difference. One of only two positive goal difference in the league, A. But then B, we are, in terms of goal difference, 27 ahead of Lincoln. And if we look at goals scored, we were the most by 5 goals conceded. We had the best defensive record by, 19 goals. Such an incredible season for us. And actually, no, sorry, not 19 goals. That's to Lincoln. The second best defense in the league went to Angels, who are currently in the playoffs. But even then, even with that in mind, we're still 17 ahead of them. So, or 17 less goals conceded than them. So it's been a really good, season for us domestically. Now we really need to push on and hopefully do something in Europe and make an impact. So I last left you off with the Lincoln game. Following that, we beat Gibraltar Phoenix 2-1 in extra time. We were forced all the way. It was thanks to Montgomery's 42nd minute penalty and 95th minute free kick to win us the game after Gibraltar Phoenix took a surprise lead. Following that, a nice convincing 2-0 win over Man 62. Then we played College Europa back-to-back, both times at home, both times we won 3-1. Montgomery scored 2 in the first game, and Moon managed to get 1 before, in the second match, Montgomery, Smith, and Gregory all scored. Thumped Britannia 5-0. Glackish United, we beat them 4-2 in the Rock Cup quarter-finals. Disappointing to see ourselves concede 2 goals, especially an own goal from Harrison. But at that point, we were already 3-0 up. It did go to 3-2 at one point, but I still felt pretty comfortable in the team. In the Lincoln game, the only other game we dropped points all season long, was disappointing. We took the lead, but we did have a man sent off. They were already 1-1 at that point, but we still, despite being down to 10 men, probably had enough quality to see ourselves past Lincoln. And it was frustrating to me, really frustrating, that we weren't good enough going forward on the day. Montgomery has been a key player throughout the season for us. The fact that he was the one who got sent off probably affected our chances of scoring a goal. But overall, it was disappointing to draw that game, but we still looked very threatening with 1 man down. So if we'd have had 10 men there, I'm sure we would have won that game. But the fact that we've drawn that game as well means that everything doesn't sort of hinge on this match, because otherwise we could have had a potential 100% season. I do think we'll go undefeated, if not next year, the year after that. Next year we could have another fluky game like this, but hopefully, we'd have ironed that out. After that, 2-1 to Lynx in the Rock Cup semi-final. Actually no, I completely blipped over the fact that the College Europa game was the final and we won that. But whatever, all these games, to me, there's no real difference. It's just beat that team, beat that team, beat that team, beat that team. It's just bang, 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 getting the victory. 2-1 we beat Lynx. This was pretty fortunate again in the semi-final. We did have a man sent off. We did have to come back from behind, and it was thanks to a 91st minute free kick from Montegriffo, managing to get us to win and put us through to this final against Man 62. And in the last 4 games of the season, we beat Lions, we beat College Europa, we beat Gibraltar Scorpions, and we beat Angels. What was the game we won the league at? I think we won the league either before or after the Lions match. We'd won the league very early on in the season, with quite a few games left. It may have even been after this Lincoln game. We'd won the league for a long time. We'd secured ourselves that. So it's showing how easy this league is now. We could have, next year we could potentially win it with 5-6 games remaining, depends how other teams in the league go. But let's go into this game against Man 62, and then afterwards we can sort of look over stats and figures of the league. So for the last time this season, our team going out today will be Coling in goal, Lopez right back, Harrison and Enrique centre backs, and Byrne left back, Montgomery right midfield, Durate left midfield, and in the centre mid we've got Barcelo and Brown, and up front we have Gregory and Coling. The bench is Whitbread, Burgess, Victor, it will be Norton Rumbo, and it will also be Cornello in what will be Moon's last game would have been played in the previous one. Hopefully they'll both be leaving over the summer, but this will definitely, well, Moon definitely won't be featuring for the club anymore as his contract will expire. Matt Smith, he's currently out injured. Picked up an injury in the, what game was it? It was one of the, I think it might have been the Gibraltar Scorpions game. Yeah, it was that game. So, yeah, he's missing today's game, which is a shame, but hopefully Enrique, who has been playing decently well when he's come in this season to fill in the centre-back spots, hopefully he can put in a good performance. That I would expect, and the good, I should really say the good performance, or the high standard of performance I expect. So, going into today's game, Gregory can get potentially 2 more goals, 3 more goals. I imagine it'll have to be 3, and he'll become the top goal scorer in the tournament. I will send the assistant. Constantly now, all I seem to be getting is Dale Coling has gone this amount of time without conceding. Do you think this run will continue? It's really good to have a keeper that can prevent goals going in. You know, or, you know, okay, he concedes a few goals here and there. He concedes, you know, maybe 2. Well, actually not 2 on the, he conceded 2 on the occasion this year. As Harrison gives us the lead, Enrique getting the assist, and great start for us. But yeah, this year it's been a different story in defence. We've kept a lot more clean sheets. We've been very hard to break down, and as a result, no team has been able to really take points off us apart from the 2. And that defeat this season, we could have had an undefeated year, but it's just that defeat is so frustrating because we let ourselves down so much defensively, and it's the only bad performance we've put in this year apart from the 6-0 defeat to Tel Aviv. Apart from them 2 games, we would have been solid defensively in all competitions this season. Even though we did concede quite a few goals in the first qualifying phase, and we did lose 1-0 in the second qualifying phase second leg, they were still good defensive performances. As Montgomery blazes over the penalty there, real surprise. Would have expected him to have converted that. He's been on point this season with his set pieces. Quite annoying. Here is Durate, and he's come in and scored. One of the main probably differences actually from the starting 11, which I still just blipped over and sort of said because I kind of wanted to cover it at the end, but I'll do it now because he's scored, is Durate's been starting a lot more than Montegriffo. And the reason for that is because I felt after about, I think it was 10, maybe 12 games in all competitions or something like that, Montegriffo hadn't got an over 7 average match rating. And that perplexed me. As a player of his ability and what I've seen from him since he's joined here, he should be playing better than what I expected. So what I did is I put Durate in. I put him in for a few games. I think Montegriffo may have actually been injured or suspended or something, but I did put Durate in. He put in some good performances, and I thought, you know what? Montegriffo's not been playing particularly well this season. I will keep you in the starting lineup. And you know what? He stepped up Ricky Durate, and it's been a really good year for him at left midfield. It's been a really good half year, really, I should say. Let's make some subs. We'll give Cornello his last appearance. We'll give Victor a go as well. That's right midfield role. But yeah, it's been a really good year for him this year, and you know what? He may have even forced Montegriffo out of the team completely. I'll have a re-evaluation again next season. We'll have a look at who's out there, who's available, if there are any better left midfielders I can potentially get, because we're still yet to see how this club has grown due to our decent run in Europe this year. But for now, it looks like we could be forcing a new left midfielder, and what that would mean is, if Montegriffo did want to leave, and I would oblige to it, we could have Coling as our official captain. So we've won 2-0. I didn't really speak about the game. It wasn't particularly a great game, but this is what I pretty much deal with in every game. This is why I'm sort of fading out the now domestic competitions, because there's no real interest. It's no competition. We've beaten Man 62. We have won our first ever quad. It might even say we've won our 5th trophy of the year. No, we've won a quadruple. We've won a quad. Because I think because this competition's in June, whenever I go into the next season, they always count the Rock Cup we won this year as the next year. So when I won my Premier Division, they said I won a quad. I hadn't won a quad, I'd won a treble. So it's really frustrating that they still do that. But yeah, either way, we'll send the assistant there. It's nothing too important. 7.51k. I think that's up on last year for how much we got from winning that tournament. Montgomery wants a new deal. No, you just put in a quite shocking performance. How long have you got left on your deal? 2019. Where's the option I want? You've got plenty of time left on your contract deal. I'm no talks right now. I can't pretend I'm disappointed, but I do understand. Thanks for your time. So let's talk about the squad, bringing that up with Montgomery. So if I were to play the starting 11, I probably would have been playing all season long with 7 subs, being the limit. It typically would have looked like this. That would have been And we'll take out all the subs that wouldn't be normally in there. But this would typically be my starting lineup. Montgomery had a really good year. He didn't have a particularly good game there for you to see him. But as you can see, 12 league goals in 12 league appearances and 9 assists as well. He contributed a lot to our goal scoring effort this season. And not only that, look at that, 7 goals in the cup, 5 penalties. He is our penalty taker, so you can see or understand why he's been getting so many goals. But look at that average match rating. He is a really good player, and I do understand he wants a new deal, but as I said, he has got a little bit of time left. Maybe at the start of next season we'll offer him a new deal. We'll have a look then. But for now, I'm not really too interested in offering him a new deal because he will ask for more wage, and I can't. It's not that I can't afford it. We did already have our wage budget set, and it's 3.44k with £139,000 spending money. But I don't really feel like I'm too pressured into offering him a new deal right now, so I'm not going to do that. As well, Matthew Smith, he had a really good year for us. His first ever year for the club, and 7.55. Has he grown at all? Let's have a look. He's grown in his flair, but that's not really a position we need him to grow in. But he's still young. He's still 18 years of age. He still can grow in positions. Jump, reach, and strength have grown, which I think I've actually got him working on. I think it's strength. It's strength or something. Tackling. It's tackling. I've got him working on tackling. They say they should improve his strength. This is what my coaches are trying to advise me on. But I personally want his tackling up to around 11, and then I may start working on other areas. But for now, Matthew Smith has been doing really well. Harrison's been the senior centre-back throughout the season. Victor Lopez has played in almost every game apart from a time when he was suspended. In fact, I think Harrison played in every single game this season. Not even our goalkeeper could do that because he picked up an injury. We can't actually all competitions. Yeah, we can't actually see it, but I think he played in every single game this season. 14 in the league, 10 in the cups, 4 in the continent, 3 internationals as well. Tom Harrison is our main man this year, playing in every game, including Terry Brown. Terry Brown is continuing to grow, continuing to be my favourite of the 2 centre midfield, surprisingly. Barcelo has not been very consistent this year. In fact, he's been poor on certain spells and almost dropped out of the first team because of how inconsistent and poor he was for a certain spell of the season. But Terry Brown has been the rock, which surprisingly I've had to lean on quite a bit this year. Not as good goal scoring record as he's had last year. In fact, not as good of a season as he did last year in the league. But still, for a 19-year-old now, he's 19, playing really well. Also capped by Gibraltar's national team as well, so that's good to see there. Gregory has been good this season. So has Coling. Both of them have been solid. My 2 backup strikers can't get a sniff because they've been playing so well. Burgess has played occasionally this year, but still not really forcing his way into the first team. I'm not really too sure if he's ever going to make it. He's 18 now. I don't know. It's sort of a hard thing because he's not a gold star yet. He's 18. I probably should have been playing him a bit more this year, but I was happy to put Burn in. I was happy to keep Burn playing at a left back role. But yeah, someone asked when would Lopez be available for international, and from my knowledge, he's actually eligible. He is eligible for thingy, but currently he is, as you see, he's actually trained in both Gibraltar and Gibraltar United. But he's decided to, keep himself as a Spanish player. Now, I'm not sure if it would be up to the Gibraltar's national team manager to maybe approach him, offer him a cap. That's, from my knowledge, you can do that once they're eligible. But for now, he's not currently representing Gibraltar, but ideally he would be doing it in the next 2 years or so. He is still on an amateur deal. Will he talk to me? I know he does want to talk to me, but like that, I can't pay you that much a week. I don't even know if you're really going to be good enough to push us to the next level. I mean, you've got a little bit of pace, yeah, fair on you. But have you got anything else? Nothing particularly good. But it's frustrating that he's only training 2 times a week. But like, I don't want to offer him that large of a wage. He'd be my largest wage player by about £200, £300 a week, and that's not worth it. He's not worth that. Domestically, dude, I don't think I see the thing is with this league. They tell me there are awards, but I never see awards. Like, they see all of these all blacked out, but they never get handed out. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe there's like players, there's like records or something. Montgomery is top goal scorer in the league. Oh, we could do that. We could look at some player stats, of course. Top goal scorer in the league did go to Montgomery, which is surprising for a right midfielder in a league where our attackers are pretty good. Goals conceded, look at that, Dale Coling. Clean sheets, 8 by Dale Coling. Whitbread came in because Coling was injured for a short spell. Managed to keep 2 clean sheets in 3 games, only conceding 1 goal. As you can see, look at that. He was the second most clean sheets in the league. He's only featured in 3 matches. Anyone else really? Assists, Montgomery, Gregory, look at that. Top of the goals, top of the assists. Both cracking players. But apart from that, there's nothing really I want to go into here. Team-wise, what is our salary per annum? It is £146,000. I think that's down from last year. But also, as you can see by this listing, Lincoln were the second highest wages last year. They've halved, or they've dropped down, and now half of that of College Europa. So clubs in this league are not really spending a lot of money. Lincoln are definitely in Europa League next season. In fact, I think because Man 62 lost that, Gibraltar Scorpions will also be going into Europe next year. So I'll keep an eye on how they do. I didn't actually speak about how Lincoln did this year. And in fact, I don't think I've even looked myself. But they lost in the first... Wait, is that this year or last year? Oh, they played the same team from this year they did last year. And they lost 10-0 in aggregate this year. And they only lost 9-0 last year. So they're currently not improving. But still, they picked up £80,000. And that's something, I guess. Better than nothing, innit? So let's continue forward. Sorry about you. There was no noise there. I was coughing. Sorry. I will edit that out. But continue forward. I wanted to see if anything maybe pops up. A few players are retiring. None of my players. But I just wanted to get to this. There we go. See, look, they talk about this. Gibraltarian First Division Player of the Year. That's not a legit thing. No one wins that. It's so frustrating that continuously pops up. Attendance broken. This is the second time we've done this. We broke the record for the highest attendance in the Premier League Cup final. And also for this final now. Doubling what it was last year. When we played Leo FC. So, yeah. It's really good. New average attendance set in the Rock Cup. 2,139. Really good. People are unhappy. Let's hold the team meeting. Talk about the lads. Winning the title next year. Exactly the same reaction as I've had for the past 4 years. Nothing has changed. End of season review. They are confident in me. Team, we're going to do a 7-week thing. I will meet you back in 22 days time. See you then, lads. Hold a backroom meeting for the last time this season. Nope. You're not being overworked. You're being worked the correct amount, in my opinion. Do not try and argue over me. There's a left back in my reserves. There is some crappy ass left back in my reserves. I don't know who this guy is. Who this guy thinks he is. Who is he? Lomax. He has been fined on countless occasions this season for being out at nightclubs too late. Can I see this? Conversations? No, I can't see conversations. But yeah, on 2 occasions I've had to fine him for not turning up to training. And just both times it's been 2 weeks. Honest to God, both times it's been 2 weeks' wages. I can't be having that. So weird that's happening. We've had our youth intake. We had it in February, and we had Jackal. We had no one good. What I'm thinking of doing is I kind of want to shrink the squad down again. Currently, these guys are all on non-contracts, but I don't know if there's any point in me keeping on, say, a backup keeper, because if I were to go to my reserves now, by clicking on you guys, if I were to go on my reserves and go on my goalkeeper that who just joined the side and has decent potential. He would probably fit into most Division 1 teams or something. Decent second division teams, so not great. If I were to go to my best youth goalkeeper, which is Ben McDonald, what's his report? Good second division team. So I can put these guys in on the bench. They rarely play anyway. That may be something I consider doing because my reserves is very large. As you see, a lot of youth players. Due to the fact we don't have a youth team. But yeah, I don't really need, people like this. These piles of nothing in the reserves that are just never ever going to amount to anything on my team. They may do somewhere else, but not on my team. We have currently got the things still going in place, the youth facility upgrades and the training facility upgrades. Hopefully they'll be going through. Let's ask if we can turn professional. Oh, they won't let me. They never do. Elsewhere, we have got a little bit of transfer news, but it's something coming in. We did loan out another youngster, Keith Roberts. He went out to Mons Calape, I think, or Calpe, whatever. How did he do there? Played decently well. Hopefully I'll loan him out again next year. With Tony Leonard, how did he do out on loan? Not very good. Don't really rate the guy. I think Keith Robertson is a better player anyway. See, look, potential to be a star Premier Division centre defender in the future. Okay. I think our players are really too good for this league. or definitely miles better than anything else this league has to offer. Probably not too good for this league. But yeah, I think this is it for now. I don't really think there's anything else I can go over. I spoke about it a lot. I probably spoke to death about most things. How was our under-21s doing? I don't think there's anything really happened since I last left you. Apart from the fact we lost 3-2 to Kazakhstan. Put up a good and brave display against them. But we were 3-1 down at one occasion. So, you know, once we went 3-1, once the 2-goal deficit came in place, it was always going to be unlikely we were going to win. But you know what? Had a lot of the ball. Scored 2 goals against a pretty tough team. Overall, pretty pleased with that. Also, with the senior squad, they actually managed to win their first ever international game. As you can see, the Chinese Taipei? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, I didn't even know it was an official country without trying to be rude. But yeah, they won 3-1 against them, with actually all 3 goals coming from my players, and Jason Coley not only getting his first ever goal for the national team, but getting 2 on the day and being the 2 goals to win the game. So that is really good. As you see, they're currently going into a competition called the UEFA National Leagues Division D. Now, who's in this competition? Oh, actually, there are some tough teams in it, but it's also a chance for us to get some wins. Look, we play San Marino twice. That'll be very interesting. Hopefully, if they don't do well in this, the manager will resign. Fingers crossed there, because I really want to take over the national team now. I think we're reaching an interesting stage. There are a lot of decent youngsters around, or a few decent youngsters around, not a lot. If I were to go into the actual senior squad, there are still a few good players. You know, Coling's good. I like him. Byrne, I like Reyes. I like Harrison. Smith is decent. Weisman's still there. Weiman, whatever. Montgomery, Gosling's a pretty decent player as well. Hernandez is half decent. Barcelo, of course. Brown. A lot of decent players around the squad. I wouldn't really mind, you know, getting stuck in and having a go at this national team job now, because I think we can compete on the level of San Marino. We can compete on the level of a few low-down national teams, and maybe even try and get our first win in an actual major European competition when we qualify again, which will be in another, I think, 2 years. I think it'll be in a while yet. But either way, this will be enough for now, guys. Next time I will meet you back will be the Champions League. I'm on the wrong thing, but we'll be in the Champions League first knockout round. Hopefully we'll get an easier tie. When is the actual tie? Yeah, actually not for a long time. But yeah, hopefully we'll get an easier tie. Hopefully we'll get an easier draw. That'll be ideal. And hopefully find ourselves progressing through to the second qualifying phase against the team again, which we can hopefully put up a fight to. With the new tactic, which we worked out last year, in which we saw the second leg display, is actually the formation I've been playing for the Gibraltar under-21s team, and was actually the formation we played in our 3-2 defeat to Kazakhstan. Then again, it was also the formation we played in these games, which doesn't really ooze confidence to me. But hopefully with this squad, which are fully adapted to the formation, hopefully that we'll see a good performance like we did in this game. But either way, guys, until then, peace out.